Hello, hello, hello. I'm the Director of Education at the Theatre of Arts, and thank you so much for joining us in these really weird times that we're living in 2020. We've obviously been online now since March, and we're going to continue to be online. It seems now through the next semester as well. We will be opening up in person. We hope, fingers crossed. We all heard the big news last night about the vaccination, but we should be opening up in person in May. Which we're very excited about. Like the Theatre of Arts is the longest running theatre school in the Los Angeles, if I can say it right, Los Angeles area. But we have a very modern outlook. And today we want to show you just a snippet of some of the things that we are doing. If Reese, if Thank you, Reese. That was just like highlighting a little bit of what goes on when we're on the campus, which seems like ancient history now. What we managed to sustain everything online. I'm very proud about that. You might have seen some of the spotlights. You might have seen a few famous faces in there. Because of where we're situated, right in the center of Hollywood, we're very lucky geographically that we can get people from the industry to come along and support us there. I saw Ray Seahorn was there. I was interviewing her there. You might know her from Better Call Saul. Alexis Woodall, you might not know the face, but she's one of the most powerful people in Hollywood. She's the president of Ryan Murphy Productions. And yesterday, Variety made her 2020 Woman of the Year because she's managed to keep so much of production going through this very difficult time. Blanca Lister, who's also on our board, was there. She's the head of production of the Jim Henson Company. And as she's on the board, we've actually done some great, oh, there we go, with some of the famous faces that we've got there. Rachel Aylesworth, like Stephen Moyer, a good friend of ours, Jack Kenny, who is a showrunner, Nick Morton, who, Lou Mastillo, of course, is, you've probably seen him on every TV show that was ever made, and London Brown. We also bring in casting directors, we bring in agents, we bring in managers. We brought an attorney in a few weeks ago, an entertainment attorney, because people were saying, what does an attorney do for actors? Well, she happened to be Tom Cruise's attorney, and he's done pretty well in this industry. Anytime, go onto our website as well, toa.edu. Applications are going to be, they're normally $75. They're going to be free for today. Also, if you do apply, after coming to this open house, there is going to be a $500 scholarship per semester for the duration of the time you're here. So please let us know if you came to this open house, and we will apply that to you if you should get in. And I will bring in the admissions people later on for you to talk to. If I could just bring up the website, Reese, and I'll just show you some of the courses that we offer, because we are, on one hand, a very traditional theatre school. We offer the courses that you'd expect. Well, you can see some of them where it's like audition, acting, voice, movement, on-camera fundamentals. As we're in LA, we have to do a lot of on-camera work. Combat. We'll be talking to our combat teacher later on. Script analysis, acting, all the acting classes that you'd expect. And then we also have motion capture and stand-up comedy. No other theatre school, I believe, offers these kinds of courses like motion capture and stand-up comedy. The reason we do that is because we want you guys to work when you leave here. So again, at any time, please just go onto the website, very simple, toa.edu. And you can find out exactly all this information. There's us today doing our open house. The website's in great shape, so you can get lots of information there thanks to John Wooden. But I think what I should really do is I should get out of the way and I should introduce you to the man, the myth, who teaches motion capture and is going to be teaching virtual reality at Theatre of Arts, and that's the one and only Henry Layton.
Hey guys, how's it going? Before we get started, I think Reese has a little sizzle reel we can show from the motion capture class, if you don't mind playing DJ there, Reese. That's awesome, Reese. Thank you so much. I'm Henry Layton. I'm the stage combat instructor, the motion capture instructor, and soon to be virtual reality instructor at Theatre of Arts in Hollywood. Just tell you a little bit about myself. I've been doing motion capture internationally for the past 19 years now. I actually started in Sweden with Universal Studios. We started the project called Chronicles of Riddick. So we did the motion capture for the video game and for the movie that over there. And then we switched, the industry started switching towards the United States a little more. And then we went to New York, where you're seeing right there. That's actually, the studio is now known as Rockstar Video Games, where I did Saints Row and The Punisher and other games like that. And then it started moving out more towards the West Coast here in Los Angeles. And that's where I started working with Sony and Disney. I also did the TV show Falling Skies with Steven Spielberg's TV show. And I did the motion capture where I played all the aliens and creatures on that series as well. So that's kind of a little bit of what I've done over the past 2 decades when it comes to motion capture. But at Theatre of Arts, where we're teaching motion capture, we take it in 2 parts. We have optical motion capture, is when you're in a studio, we call it a volume, and you're surrounded by all these cameras that, like Sony or Disney, you're surrounded by 200 cameras. We also do what's called telemetry motion capture, and that requires us not to have to use cameras. That's what makes it so convenient for us at Theatre of Arts, because we don't have to be inside a studio. We can walk anywhere. The entire world is our set, and I'm going to touch on that a little bit more later. But once we start doing the motion capture and teaching it, we break it into 2 parts, and that's called in-game and cutscenes. Now, in-game, that's where you're doing your walks and your turns, and you've got your weapon, and you'll turn to the left, or you'll turn to the right, or duck behind a car, or get behind a tank, that kind of thing. But you have to hit those marks in character. Then we have what's called cutscenes, and you'll see some of the turns here, of course, in the video where we have you animated in live time. So then we get to do cutscenes, and this is where it gets more fun as an actor, because we get to make physical acting choices, and we have a little more freedom and liberties with our choices. Doesn't have to be so technically robotic, if you will. So when we're doing that, you'll see here that the students, they have to walk with character. Let's just say you're doing a zombie, for example. You have to walk with weight. You have to walk with the same distance and speed and tempo, and you have to keep it on a straight line like you see that young lady there doing in our studios. So what happens is we put you in those suits, and then that suit creates this sort of connect the dot skeleton. Reese, I think you have it in a video here. I think it's at the 1 minute and 20-second mark, if I'm correct, somewhere around there. We'll see a student. Exactly. So right here, if you look on the right side of your screen, you're going to see that yellow skeleton, that connect to that skeleton. That's called your raw data. What we do is we animate any character on top of that skeleton. Like in the center here, you see that sort of marshmallow mushroom skeleton on that raw data. We have over 600 characters that we could put onto your animations. For instance, we could be Batman, we could be Wonder Woman, we could be Catwoman. David Conolly has actually been Catwoman for us before. But right here you see that, and if you could rewind just a little bit, Reese, I'm so sorry, just for a few seconds. We have a man named Big Dave Matty. He's just a pretty smart guy, and he's really good at this. You can see the yellow skeleton inside the animation, and what he's doing is called cleaning up the data, so there's no imperfections in your performance. Once we have all that data, then we pretty much can put you into a real live world video game situation. And we have a final output here. I'm gonna let this play a little bit. I won't talk too much over it, but you'll see the student in the top left corner, and as she's performing in real time, you'll see her in live time in an actual video game that we have created. Go ahead, Reese, thank you.
And action.
And if you'll notice, the actor in the top left is working in coordination with the cameraman, syncing up with all of the data and the software from our telemetry motion capture suits. And here's the one thing that's great about this, besides the fact that it's just really daggum cool to do motion capture and be inside a video game when you go to class, is that once you leave TOA, we want to give you this footage. We give you this footage so that when you are either auditioning for a studio, a director, a producer, you can send them this footage and say, I already know how to do motion capture. There are so many actors out there now because motion capture is one of the freshest things going on in this industry. Everybody wants that work, but not everybody knows how to do it, and not everybody can get that work. You have to have some kind of extra training, and we'll talk a little bit about that here in a second, to make sure you can get that job. But if you have this footage, you send it to that studio director, casting agent, producer, you already get bumped. Your name gets bumped towards the top of the list. So you've already beat most of that competition at least, because they don't have to teach you how to do the motion capture. They don't have to teach you how to make physical acting choices. They don't have to teach you all the process that goes into doing motion capture. And that's what's really exciting for us when it comes to this motion capture and the telemetry suits that we're using. I'm going to come back to that because there's another part of motion capture that we've started teaching as well, and that's called performance capture, or PCAP. So there's motion capture, there's mocap, and there's PCAP, which is performance capture. And we actually have a faculty member here. His name is Alex Feldman. I call Alex the hardest working actor in Los Angeles. You've seen him in all the movies, you've seen him in all TV shows. He does so much work, and he's so good at what he does that he actually got a job with performance capture. And Alex, if you're here, if you don't mind, I'd love if you could just talk to us a brief moment about your experience with performance capture.
Sure. Hey, Henry, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yes, about a year ago, I was fortunate enough to play a character in a video game called Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And, I've been acting for a long time, so I was very comfortable with the idea of creating a character and using my imagination to activate the different scenes and all that. But one thing that came to mind, there was a scene that we had to do where the director is directing me via PA system. He's not actually on the stage. And I had this scene that involved dialogue, but also a lot of action, a lot of physical interaction with another actor. But that other actor was nowhere near me. He was sitting feet away from me, and I had to sort of deal with the equipment and be sort of limited by that camera that you see there facing me there. And it occurred to me there are not that many actors who have training in both the technical elements of performance capture and traditional acting training. And what Theater of Arts does with you, Henry, is setting people apart by giving them training in both. So I just want to say thank you for that. And it was definitely the advice you gave me was very helpful in that job. And as a result, I've been able to get a few more jobs that were very similar to this. So thank you for that.
Oh yeah, no, thank you, bud. And listen, he's exactly right. What it is, when it comes to motion capture and performance capture, when the industry first started doing this, they usually just had stunt people come in, but then they realized that there's more to the characters than doing a high fall or throw a few punches. They had to make physical acting choices. Myself, I have an undergrad degree in dance. My MFA is in acting. While I was in undergrad college, I went to stunt school and stage combat school to become the most versatile actor performer I could possibly become. And we have two students. Well, actually, one student's about to graduate. One is already an alumni of Theater of Arts. Alex Carone and Preston Bruner have already put that into practice, what they practice, into reality. They've already got internships now at Jim Henson Studios. And it's an incredible opportunity because for those of you who don't know about Jim Henson Studios, they are now owned by Disney. So these two young men have now opened the doors to endless, infinite possibilities for their careers because of the people they were going to be exposed to. And they already know how to do the motion capture along with all the acting, all the voice, and all the other training that they got at Theater of Arts. Now, to talk to you a little bit about the telemetry suits, if you don't mind. what's great about the suits, I told you how convenient it is that we don't have to have cameras. The world is our stage. You know, I know it's a little sort of a pun there, but it's intentional. There's a movie franchise called Avatar. The director's name is James Cameron. You might have heard of him. For the past 10 years, he's been trying to shoot Avatar 2, 3, and 4 at the same time. The problem is 80% of that film is taking place underwater. So he couldn't find out how to beat the science. But now what he figured out about 2 years ago, about a year before the pandemic started, is that he could use telemetry motion capture. So what he's doing is using the exact same suits, the exact same techniques, the exact same software that we're teaching at Theater of Arts and Motion Capture. And that's how he's shooting Avatar 2, 3, and 4 as we speak. And it's more than just that, because that was just underwater. When I told you the whole world is the stage for us, there's a TV show, or excuse me, a show on Disney Plus. It's called The Mandalorian. I'm sure we've heard of that with the Star Wars franchise. They are literally using telemetry motion capture for all of their motion capture. And they don't have to go to a studio. They just go to the set. So imagine any Star Wars set. The actors are in these same telemetry suits, and they're using the same techniques and the same acting choices and the same technology and software that we are using at Theater of Arts. And that's what we're really excited about, because, and I have to give credit to David Conolly, because he's had the vision to push the technology, to recognize where this industry is headed when it comes to all of the technologies being added to a traditional on-camera industry. As you see, Alex, he teaches on camera, and he also knows how to do the motion capture. So now he's getting even more jobs. And a lot of times people ask me about what's the easiest way to get into motion capture? And I don't know if it's the easiest, but it's been what I've witnessed to be the fastest, and that's with voiceover. And we have a young lady, she's the voiceover teacher at Theater of Arts. Her name is Rachel Kimsey, excuse me. And she's going to talk to you here in a moment. We'll get to her, but just to give you an idea of who she is, there's a little project franchise called Call of Duty, and she's a staple within that franchise when it comes to doing the voiceover work. And I believe she's also done some of the motion capture as well. But just to let you know, anytime they do a video game for Call of Duty, she's the one they call. If there's a call sheet, her name's on the list. So she is incredibly talented and incredibly super credible when it comes to knowing what she's talking about when it comes to voiceover in the motion capture world. I'm going to also talk a little bit about virtual reality. So we this past summer, we had to do a play sort of out of necessity because of the pandemic. And it was called Papa Tango Sierra Delta, otherwise known as PTSD. So it was written by myself and a man named Big David Matty, who you saw earlier. And we directed it, and we wrote it, and we actually produced this entire play live in the VR world, from my house to another person's house, to the actor's house. The actors with their own cast and crew. And that was quite an achievement in themselves. But then what we discovered is that you can do virtual reality and motion capture at the same time. So in that, we've started writing a curriculum for the class to put in the catalog at Theater of Arts, which should be available early sometime next year, with that sort of thing. Reese, I believe you have a video we can show, correct? On this one, that I need to point out some of the rehearsal stuff we did with the VR play, if that can still happen. Oh, thank you. Great. So here's
scene 12.
And if you'll pay attention to this,
Okay, so here, let's do it in two parts. So
you'll
part
see
one,
that the actor
stands at your side,
is in their living room in the VR headset,
and, you're gonna
and their
do
avatar is
"Hey,
moving
Dr.
in the
Spencer,
real
sorry
world.
I'm late."
The
And
director,
when you're
myself,
flying in,
and the other
kind of,
director, David
so let's
Matty,
put your-
we're also
let's put
in the
your
VR
eye line,
headsets
like,
at
down
that same
the
time.
bottom of this stand
So if
here.
you see this,
See where I'm
Reese,
pointing?
can you go back to the beginning for a quick
Yep.
second and pause it?
This
I
is
want you to
scene
look up at the right here. Those both of the actors, one's in a green screen, one's in a black screen. They are actually doing the VR world live, while we're also, the directors, inside the VR world with them. So when you see them performing right there, that's also happening. Go ahead and push play, Reese, if you don't mind, sir. Thank you. Right here.
Okay, so here,
Now,
let's do it in two
right there,
parts.
that's
So
the actor
part
in their
one,
own living room in the
hands at
VR
your
world.
sides,
So now we don't have to
and
worry
you're
about
gonna
building
do
a
the,
set on
"Hey,
a
Dr.
theater
Spencer,
stage.
sorry I'm late."
We can
And
do
it's
any
when
set
you're
we
flying
want. If
in,
we want to
kind
put you
of.
on Mars,
So
we can
let's
do it
put
like
your-
that. If we want to
let's
put you
put your eye line,
underwater
like, down
fighting
at the bottom of
sharks,
this
great white
stand
sharks,
here.
we can do
Where
it
I'm
just
pointing.
like that. And right here, can you
Yep.
pause that, Reese, or
At the
rewind
bottom.
it just a little bit? I want to show them something here. This is something that's also really cool about virtual reality. That's it right there, bud. Now, we're not using iPads and we're not using Android tablets at our homes when we're doing the virtual reality world. All that stuff is actually put into the world. So we're actually using our virtual reality hands and feet and body to produce all of this. And you'll see right there, you can see those actors in real time in our virtual tablet. And what's cool about that is that we can actually, from inside the virtual reality world, look back into our own homes in real time, in live time. And so the possibilities for that are just endless when it comes to producing a play, or even now a video game, and now TV shows and movies, because now the technology has worked together with the industry so that they can collaborate and be used at the same time. So there'll be more information coming on the virtual reality classes over the next few months, that sort of thing. But I guess for right now, there'll be questions later. There's a Q&A, we can talk then. But for now, I'm just David, if you don't mind, I think I'll kick it back to you, if that's okay with you, bud.
That's fine by me. Thank you, Henry. Appreciate you sharing that with us. And I think
Absolutely.
I'm great that we were the only theatre school, I believe, that actually managed to put on a play last term. And that's because we actually shifted and did the virtual reality when we have our own theatre, but obviously we weren't allowed in it. I just want to point out, Reese, if you could bring up the website, that we are accredited by NAST. We are a 2-year conservatory. I can see lots of questions. We're going to try and you can see, so when you go on the website, you can see all the information there, that we are an accredited drama school. The internships that Henry was talking about, I'll just go over those very quickly. We have board members from, for instance, the Jim Henson Company and Universal Pictures. So they help us out, and they're helping out former students and putting them on placements when they leave TOA. So that is something that we are working on. Right, now I want to hand over to another sterling member of our faculty. This woman we know internally as Wonder Woman, because that is the role that she is famous for playing. And she is our voiceover teacher, and that is Rachel Kimsey. So if Rachel could come up, and I will hand over to that. There she is, Wonder Woman. All right, it's all yours.
Hello, hello. I'm really excited to be here with you guys today. Wow, that sun got really bright. I need to take that self-tape class apparently. So, get on that. I'm really excited to talk to you guys a little bit about the gift that a voice acting career is to an actor who wants to work for their whole life, because that's what voice acting can offer you. Voice acting, my friend's daughter started voice acting at 2. And another woman that I know won an Emmy as a voice actor at 92. So it's literally a portion of your career you could do forever. And even better, it's a part of the career as an actor that embraces everyone. It is the most diverse corner of the acting industry, because we need you. We need the tone of your voice. We need the sound of your body. We need the language that you speak. We need new. We need something fresh coming in. And if any of those things have gotten in your way in some other corner of this business, nobody's looking at you. They're just looking for your talent. They're just looking for your gifts. And because of that, in voiceover, you have the opportunity to play people who are like you, to play people who are not like you, to play animals and trees. I played a tree. I did. I played a tree. It was pretty quiet. There was a lot of just wind rustling through my branches, and when the leaves got tickled. You have the opportunity to try more things and be the greatest breadth of the performer that you are capable of in this corner of the work. And on top of that, it's the only corner of the industry that actually expanded during this pandemic. What's wonderful about that is that the way that we do the work now and the way we'll do the work in class is actually how you will be doing the work as a professional going forward. And we're going to talk about that. So what we're going to cover in class is we're going to start with commercial, because that's where the bulk of the work is. There's so much. They need so many unique voices, so many new perspectives, so many new points of view, that they're constantly looking for people who are just beginning their careers, people who are reinventing themselves. So we're going to spend our time on commercial. Can you throw up that McDonald's one for us, Reese? Thank you.
You've got a routine. We've got a routine. Get a morning made just for you. There's a breakfast for everyone to love at McDonald's.
So here's the fun thing about that commercial. Okay, as a working actor, here's what you ought to know. All of the actors in that commercial got paid to be in that commercial, to show up on that day, to record, and they get paid residuals, which is in America, you get paid residuals when things continue to air on television. Sorry, Canadians, come join us. I also got paid as a SAG actor for the day that I recorded and for when those commercials aired, but I also got to go back into the studio and record for the special price for Hawaii, the special price for Alaska, the special price for breakfast during the summer, the special new tag for when there was a sale going on. So I got to keep working on that commercial for a year while it continued to air, and all those on-camera actors only got to work on it once. There is work for us, and it is an opportunity that keeps on giving and it keeps building. So we start in commercial, and then we get to the stuff that you probably think about, right? We talked about Call of Duty. I've been really, really fortunate to be a part of Call of Duty, to be a part of Halo, to be a part of Far Cry, a lot of anime games, the Persona franchise, Trails of Cold Steel, and all of those games really have one thing in common, which is you got to be a good actor to get the job. So training to be a good actor is the most important part. Then we work on the specificity of each of those styles and genres. We work on what the need is for the style of gameplay. Do you understand how you can help the game be more effective? Because if you understand that, you're that much more likely to get the job, because they go, oh, we can just let you do your work. So we'll explore all of that in video games. Then we move on to animation, right? Animation is it's the fun stuff, right? It's the thing that we all dreamt of as kids, watching cartoons. In animation, you have to do it all. It's not just funny voices. It's being a smart actor. You read the page and you go, oh, I have to create all of this stuff. I have to create the space of the room, the distance between me and another actor. I've got to give that feeling of, oh, I just ran into the room and now there's all of this breath in my voice. I've got to create all of that myself, all alone in front of a microphone without anybody else there. It is the most imaginative part, and it takes practice. It's not just coming up with a funny voice. So we're going to practice that. We're going to practice how to read a script smart and how to bring all of your imagination to the plate so that you can start to build a real character that is memorable and that is grounded so that people want to keep coming back and watching and listening to you again. We'll jump into promos and audiobooks and narration, stuff that never goes away. Did you grow up watching nature documentaries like I did? All I ever wanted to do was narrate a National Geographic documentary. That's all I ever wanted. I just wanted to say the lions on the savannah, right? We'll cover that. We'll talk about true crime narration. We'll talk about audiobooks, which is a portion of the voiceover industry where the industry standard is non-union, non-represented by an agent, and working from home. It's literally work you could start doing tomorrow if you understand how it works. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how you can begin your career as a professional actor, if this is something you're interested in, tomorrow if you want to. And we'll talk about how to do this recording at home. We've got a class that I like to call Gear, Career, and Mic Technique. And we'll talk about what you need to be able to pull this off. You'll talk about what you need for the space, because you don't have to have a recording studio like mine. I didn't have a recording studio in my home till I'd been working at this for over 15 years. I had a mic in a corner of my closet. And I can teach you how to start working that way too, for a low budget investment. This doesn't have to be an expensive thing to start. And it will be with material that you'll be able to use in your self-tape class, because being an actor who can do everything with your creativity is incredibly, incredibly valuable. We want you to be able to do that. I am really excited about voiceover. I think you will be really excited about voiceover. There are opportunities for you exactly as you are, because you are not like everyone else in this corner of the business today. But you got to train to be a good actor. because that's the most important thing. So come get some training, come get grounded in your script analysis and in your acting choices and in getting specific. And it's going to apply to everything, especially with us.
Thank you, Rachel. Appreciate it. I just want to go over a couple more things that I want to talk about. We are going to do a Q&A at the end, so if we leave anything out, I noticed that a lot of you are spread out all over the United States, if not the world. So we have a deal with United Airlines. So we can get you discounts with them. We also have a deal while we're online. Well, the deal is beyond when we're online with Apple as well, so that we can help you out with any technology problems there. I do want to talk as well about, I don't know if I have any military vets out there, but we do here at the Theatre of Arts, we do support vets there. We do accept the GI Bill and veteran benefits. So if you are a vet, we've had a big successes. I don't know if you tuned in early and you saw Derek was talking about his time here at the Theatre of Arts. He happened to be in the military. He turned out to be an excellent student, and he's doing incredibly well now. And we're very proud of him. He's actually making content, making movies that we're very proud of. And talking of movies and TVs, I want to introduce you now to our on-camera teacher, one of our on-camera teachers. This guy you will have seen on a lot of TV and a lot of films. As Henry said, he's one of the most busiest actors in Los Angeles. It's Alex Feldman. If I can find Alex Feldman.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, there he is, right on cue. Right on cue.
Hi, my name is Alex Feldman, and I'm one of the on-camera instructors at Theatre of Arts.
This ends now.
I'm sorry I let you down.
Good afternoon. My name is Louis Allen, and I've been suffering from sleep paralysis for 3 years.
You let anything slip through the cops, your parents are gonna pay.
No! ¿Cómo dices? Estoy muy contento de estar aquí.
With the American accent, I'm very happy to be here. With the Russian accent, I'm very happy to be here.
I will come. If I understand baseball, maybe I will understand America better.
In on-camera classes, we equip the actors with the knowledge of how to work on the technical elements of on-camera performance, as well as the organic behavior to be captured by the camera. We address how the camera is used on sets and in audition environments, and we try to provide some knowledge for the actors about how to be a good collaborator with the other departments on sets, the responsibility that the actor might have to the on-camera department, to the electrical department, to the wardrobe department, and how to make sure that the performance is collaborative and not just for the actor's benefit. Hey everybody, thank you for that intro, I appreciate it. As David mentioned at the beginning of this webinar, Theatre of Arts is the longest running theater school in Los Angeles, and so we're very deeply grounded in traditional craft of the theater. But we are located in Los Angeles, and right in the middle of Los Angeles. On any given day, there are literally hundreds of productions going on all around us. And so our focus at Theatre of Arts very quickly shifts to on-camera training, because our ultimate goal is to produce working actors who will graduate and be ready to work in film, television, and new media. And so the curriculum that I write together with the other on-camera instructors starts with On-Camera Fundamentals, which is a class in which actors are introduced to an ability to translate what they're learning in their acting classes to the technical requirements of working with the camera. We do scenes that are simulated to look like the scenes that you will be working on once you graduate and you begin working in film, TV, and new media. And those scenes are shot with state-of-the-art equipment, and we teach the actors how to use the equipment so that they're familiar with it. And we teach actors what the different departments do, as I mentioned that intro. And in the on-camera fundamentals, the scenes that we work on are broken down shot by shot, edit by edit, frame by frame, so that actors really understand what is required of them when they're on set. To give an example, I think we actually have a short scene with two actors from Theater of Arts that I'd like to show. I'll kind of break it down shot by shot for you to name the different frames, and you'll see one of the actresses looking for her light as well. She's working with the camera, but also at the same time trying to work with her light. So Reese, if you can roll that, I'll just kind of talk over it for a minute, and then we'll talk about the other classes in the on-camera department.
Sushi.
So here we have these two actors in what's called a two-shot, meaning two people are in a shot.
Taco. Sushi.
Taco.
Sushi.
Taco.
Sushi.
There are cuts to an over-the-shoulder medium, and in this shot you can see this actress going in and out of her light. She's sort of searching for her light while staying in the frame.
What I like most about tacos is...
Here's another cut to what's called an extreme close-up, which requires extreme stillness. And there's another close-up.
I like sushi. All right, it's fresh. It looks amazing when it's served. And sushi has
another extreme close-up.
It's perfect.
And this is a comedic scene, so now we have a two-shot that's quite unique there. Another two-shot coming up here. Thank you for that, Reese. So you can see that even in a simple scene like this, those actors had to be very aware of the camera positioning and the different frames and the different shots that are set up there. I think I counted at least 6 cuts there, which means there were at least 6 setups and different shots. So that is what our students learn in on-camera fundamentals. But then as their educational experience progresses in the rest of the on-camera classes, they do scenes that are much greater in length and depth. And so we simulate exactly what happens on sets and push the actor to understand how to collaborate properly with the editor, the director, and everybody else who's involved in the process of filmmaking. These classes are intended to create a working actor. And in today's environment, a working actor is one who knows how to create their own content. And so by the time you get closer to graduating, we transition our on-camera classes to teaching our students how to create their own content, produce their own content, and put their content out there to be a successful actor. Towards the end of your 2-year program, you also have classes such as industry preparation and showcase. And in those classes, you're taught how to begin your acting career. Now that you've had your education and your acting classes and your on-camera classes, you can now transition and begin to cultivate relationships with agents, managers, casting directors, and sort of figure out how to navigate your own career. And we're all sort of dealing with the same environment right now with the COVID restrictions and being in quarantine. And this industry, the entertainment industry, has responded to these restrictions in a way that I'm quite proud of. We didn't skip a beat. Everybody just sort of adjusted to what Rachel was talking about earlier, which is a lot of voiceover work and using equipment at home. For example, our auditions for all actors are pretty much all self-tapes right now. And you saw Jorge talking about this at the beginning of the webinar, if you were here, how one of our on-camera classes immediately transitioned to focusing completely on self-tapes. And because in the on-camera fundamentals class, we teach actors how to work with equipment, our students are able to produce excellent self-tapes. This last term, Theater of Arts actually sent lights and tripods and other equipment to students to give them an ability to record self-tapes and interact in classes in a way that makes it look very professional and puts our best foot forward. So if you come to Theater of Arts, you should be ready to understand how to work with equipment, be in front of the camera, be behind the camera, and being an actor who knows how to do all that makes you a hireable actor, which is, like I said, our ultimate goal here. There will be an opportunity for a Q&A later if anybody has any questions about the on-camera work that we do at Theater of Arts. But for now, I think I'll turn it over back to David, and I'll see you at the Q&A. Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. Appreciate it. Alex it also has the showcase class, and we had the showcase class for the first time online last week. What was incredible was the amount of people from the industry who attended, and we've already getting emails from people setting up meetings with agents since that showcase. The last in-person showcase we actually had was this time last year, and every student that was leaving got representation, so we're very proud of that. I also want to talk to anybody who is international here. We have the F1 visa, at the Theatre of Arts. For those who are not familiar with that, we're a 2-year conservatory, but the visa is for 2 years plus 1 year of OTP. What that means is that you get a 3rd year where you can be in the United States of America as long as you are working within the industry. We will try our best to help you with that so that you can stay on for that 3rd year. After that, you are on your own, but we will help you as much as we can. Okay, I want to now go to our final faculty member to talk about his subject, which is stand-up comedy, and the stand-up comedy teacher happens to be me. I'm actually a professional stand-up. I headline all over the United States. Usually, not in 2020, unfortunately, but usually. Reese, if you could just bring up a little show reel of what we've got for a stand-up. Thank you. Put stand-up on the curriculum is that in pilot season, traditionally January till March in Los Angeles, every agent is trying to get their clients in front of people, and the best way to do it is to get them along to the Comedy Store. And what I realized, along with some fellow comedians, was that we saw lots of very young, good-looking people who did not know how to tell jokes. So we decided that we should actually just teach it here at the Theatre of Arts, and we've had a big success. The idea is that when we open up, which we will do later on in the year, and by the time you graduate, the idea is that you graduate and on a Friday afternoon, and the first job you're going to get is that Friday evening at the Comedy Store, and you'll be ready for it. You will get paid for it. We've had a big success from that. There was a young girl called Berenice there, and she has been doing stand-up all over the United States since being at the Theatre of Arts. Reese, could you just bring up Martha's stand-up? Because I think this is a good example, because a lot of people think that they can't do stand-up. Martha was very resistant and said, I don't want to do stand-up. It's not for me. I'm a very serious actress. At the end of the 12 weeks, this is what she did. This was her first ever joke. She's fresh. It is Martha Najwa!
I moved here from Uganda about 6 years ago. Thank you. And a lot of people ask me, so what is it like to live in a third world country? Pasadena is not that bad. But Palmdale, on the other hand. So you know when you...
Thank you, Reese. That was the first time that she ever did stand-up. We actually have this Saturday night show in Hollywood, and it's great because we're in the center of Hollywood. It's our theater, and we get headliners who are going all over the country, quite famous comedians. They will come and do a show at our place because they're in a theater, not a club. And I always hold back 2 spots for students, and they have to go toe to toe with the headliners. And I'm very proud of what they've been doing. And actually, we also have been filming specials. Rita, I don't know if you've got Samba Shoot. We shot his special at the arena. And we were very lucky, and he was extremely lucky that night, because NBC was in the audience and his life changed, and he went and filmed a TV series called Sunnyside. That's why we do stand-up, really. It's about getting work. It's about employment. It might not be leading to a stand-up career. It will help you with either an acting career or a writing career. There was a documentary made about the theatre of arts and stand-up comedy, which you can see on Amazon Prime. It's 8 weeks to 6 minutes, starring Antonio's, his name is, he just calls himself one name, Antonio. And if you watch that documentary, you'll see how somebody goes from knowing nothing about stand-up to 8 weeks time. He is on the Comedy Store, and he has just like, ever since then, he has been doing comedy all over the United States of America. There we go, 8 weeks to 6 minutes. These are some of the specials that we shot. Bobby Oliver's Greatest Hits, we shot at the Arena, and Sonny Mullins, Sleazy Does It. All of these are available on Amazon Prime, and they've just been great friends to us. Like I say, because of this, we had a relationship with a Comedy Store in LA. We get great comedians coming along to help us out. I myself haven't been able to tour in 2020, but the good news is that other work comes in. My agent called me up out of the blue in May and said, look, there's a movie that needs to be written quickly because they want to shoot this in England at the end of the summer. Can you do it? They're looking for a stand-up comedian because they want it to be funny. They took a punt on me. Reese, I don't know if you've got the trailer there, but we can show you the movie's already been shot and it's going to be out Christmas 2021. Hopefully cinemas will be open again by then.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Christmas at Donnock Manor, capital of nowhere.
I've had 27 years of therapy trying to recalibrate Christmas.
There, all the sisters gathered together. I can remember when you lot used to fight like Spitfires and Messerschmitts.
Don't tell me it doesn't have to be perfect, because it bloody well has to be.
We decorated the Christmas tree with Daddy.
Why don't we just stick this on top of the tree?
That's marriage.
Did you by any chance invite anyone for Christmas?
Is it who I think it is? Your father is finally here this Christmas.
This is my girlfriend, Jackie.
Hey! Let's show him what he's missed.
For the last 27 years. Don't push this so far down your throat, you'll need a colonoscopy to remove it. Marvelous!
I feel like I've landed in Hogwarts.
I propose a duel. Ho, ho, ho. No!
Will you just shut up? Could we just be a family and have a lovely Christmas?
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thanks, Reese. That'll be coming out in the cinema next Christmas, thanks to Lionsgate. But what was great while that movie was being made, I couldn't go to England while it was being shot. As you could see, there was some comedy legends in there like John Cleese and Kelsey Grammer, Liz Hurley, and I was getting the dailies sent to me in Los Angeles, and I would use it in the class to show guys how people like John Cleese and Kelsey Grammer were trying to work out the joke. With me, we were trying to go, right, what is the real punchline here? Is the setup right? And I just thought that was, that's what I love about Theatre of Arts, is that all the instructors are still working in the industry, and we can, and so we're current, and we can bring that to you as a student. I want to bring back everybody now on the panel, and I want to introduce you to some of our behind the scenes staff, should we call it. We have the head of admissions, Jose Hernandez is with us. I've got Juan De La Rosa is with us, who has just finished a movie right now, and he is also an admissions rep. I believe I've got Corian Duver is here, Keith, Reese, and John, and let's see what questions you have for us. And I know that I can see quite a few, and I'll do my best. So I know that one question was, do you do improv at the Theatre of Arts? And the answer to that is yes, that is one of the first classes that you do at the Theatre of Arts, and that is taught by myself. And somebody is wanting to go to a comedy show. So come back, panel, turn your cameras on, turn your microphones on, and join in, and we will do our best to answer the questions as they come in. So good luck with the comedy show, whoever that is.
David, there's another question earlier. It says, after you open back up in person,
Yes.
will there still be online classes?
That's got to be discussed, to be honest. You know, that's something I think we've actually bizarrely learned a lot from the online classes. One of the voice teachers actually told me that she actually prefers it online teaching voice because she feels like she can really explore the back of your throat without being too much like looking down there. She can look down the camera. So some of the classes will be hybrid to start off with. We're slowly going to open up. You know, we're going to have to work this out. The truth is, we want it to be an in-person school. We want you to be on the ground in Los Angeles. So if your question is like, should I stay, you know, in Ohio? Stay in Ohio through January through March. You're very welcome to, and save yourself some rent, save yourself a flight. And also there's 10% off tuition while we're online. But come May, we're going to be open up, and we really want the students to be on the ground and be in the classroom with us. So hopefully that answers that question.
There's another question where it says, is there any classes for teens?
For teens? I'm getting a lot of questions like that this week. I had a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old ring me up. So for teens, we're getting slightly older. But the truth is we are effectively a college. You know, we have people as young as 17 coming to our college, and we've had people in their 40s. So it's really for school leavers. You know, once you've left school, that's the time to come to the Theatre of Arts. We are launching some workshops, which you are very welcome to attend if you're a teenager. Our first workshops will be in the first week of January. So please go onto our website, toa.edu. Check out all our social media, because we will be teaching workshops, and maybe that's something you might be interested in. And you know what? I don't know how old you are as a teenager, but you know, this will whet your appetite, and maybe you'll be able to come to Theatre of Arts later on into the conservatory.
This is a question for Juan. You can answer this. Will we be auditioning on Zoom or sending a self-tape?
So right now we're doing Zoom meetings every Wednesday. So whoever wants to come in and audition for us, you first have to fill out your application. And then after that, we can set you up with 2 monologues, 1 dramatic, 1 comedic. And then we can set you up, like I said, anytime, any Wednesdays that you're available, we can set you up an audition.
I should say what I'm looking for in the auditions. You don't necessarily have to be the best actor in the world at this stage, because we are about training you. I'm looking for people who are passionate, really passionate about acting, and who can take direction. If you can do those 2 things, then I think that you're teachable, because I see it all the time at Theatre of Arts that people get so much better in the 2 years that they are here. So that's what I'm looking at. And sometimes we get people who come along who I think are really good actors, and I will see them being overtaken by other people who are passionate and want to learn. So that's what I'm looking for.
Perfect. Now, one of the things I do want to mention is, obviously, you've been seeing the promotion about the $500 scholarship. So for every student that for all of you guys that actually attended, and if you apply, you actually will be getting $500 off each quarter or semester, sorry, that you're attending. So this program is for 6 semesters, which is 2 years long. So you're saving at least $3,000. Now, we understand the pandemic, it's affected everybody. So we're doing a little bit more to help you guys out. So we're also providing a 10% discount on your tuition while we're doing distance learning. When we are back in person, obviously that 10% will go away, but that is part of the reason why this is the perfect time to actually start school. As many in the industry, we work for many schools that are in the performance arts. Right now, everything's in halt, but that's part of the reason why this is the perfect time to master your craft. So that way, when we do reopen, I can tell you this, there's so many people that want to go out to either see live performances, whether it's play, Hamilton, or even concerts. So that's part of the reason why this is the perfect time to actually start your career. And one of the things that we're doing for you guys, aside from the $500 scholarship, is we're waiving the application fee. Normally it's a $75 application fee, and it's non-refundable. If you apply by the end of the month for our Winter Star or any of our Future Stars, because I know we have some that are still in high school, we're going to honor that and waive your $75 application fee. The only condition is you need to complete everything, and I mean admissions and financial aid, within a 30-day gap, which is very easy. We're very different than most traditional schools where you normally apply in October, September, and then you wait 6 months or so to see if you got accepted or got financial aid. The great thing about our school is that we really is more like a family at this school where everybody gets along. So we are able to do a lot more things a lot faster. We've gotten students accepted through the whole process in less than a week. So if this is something you've been wanting to do for, and this is your passion, and this is a career, not a job, a career, something that you will be doing for many, many years, then this is the perfect time to take advantage. As crazy as it sounds, despite everything that's going on in this world, this is one of the perfect times to actually go to school. And we will work with you as best as possible to assist you guys. That's one of the things that we can only promise is that we will help you out with everything that we can do from our side. We can, so if this is something you wanted to do, please feel free to reach out to us and we will be more than happy to assist you in any possible way.
Okay, thanks, Jose, because I think I should just enlarge on that, is that we had a board meeting the other week, and as I said earlier on, one of our board members is an executive at Universal Pictures, and she was explaining to us, saying they have not been able to shoot anything in 2020, no TV shows or no movies at Universal. She said, but they're going to have a bottleneck at the end of this. So she said, please get everybody trained now, because I'm going to be calling you up and saying we're going to be casting like there is no tomorrow. And people are going to get more opportunities than they had in the past, because they're going to have to spread that net wider, because they're going to have to be making so much when this is over, because so many of our favorite TV shows and movies have just been put on hold. I mean, we're very fortunate here. We've got people who have actually worked all the way through it, like Rachel. Alex was in the first show to open up again at CBS, and Juan, who was actually just finished a movie last week, which is great. So it's starting to open up again. But there is going to be like a flood very soon.
Yeah. David, do we have the percentage of students that graduate on the website?
Yeah, that should be on the website. Yeah, that should be on the BPE.
Yeah, so I can attach the accreditation in the chat for the question, for the person that asked that question. But yes, you can see all the information, everything is provided. And to add to everything that is very unique, if you've gone to college, community college, for your university, most of the time you pay your tuition and then you have to buy your books. TOA actually provides the books. It's part of your tuition. So that's one of the things that we help you guys out. We understand how expensive books can be. I remember way back where one book would cost me $150, and it was only because it was a new edition and it had more pictures. Other than that, it was the same information. So we understand how expensive books can be. So that is actually included into your tuition. And due to distance learning, we try to work with you guys as best as possible to, if you need assistance when it comes to some form of laptop or computer, to help this transition. So that's part of the reason. That's part of the reason why we really think this is the best time. We are trying to do our very best to help not only you guys, but every student that is currently right now in TOA.
I think also I should say that we also have been sending people ring lights and green screens because we had to set everybody up. I have a feeling that is the way the industry is going to go now. So you are going to get more practice now by being online, because I've got a feeling that casting suites are not going to open up again, because why should they pay that expensive rent in Los Angeles when they can just have a Zoom audition? So I kind of feel like we're setting you up right now for that.
Perfect. I think that's it with the questions. Unless there's any other questions, we're good.
We're good. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in, and please, if you have any questions, go through our website. Like we said, it's free to apply right now on toa.edu. But if you have any questions about anything, reach out and someone will get straight back to you.
Exactly. We're attaching Juan, which is in the admissions department, and for Corian also, please feel free to reach out to either of those. They're in the admissions team, and they will help you out, answer any questions. I want to say personally, thank you for taking the time and spending an hour with us. So thank you for that. And again, hopefully we can get to see you guys soon virtually and hopefully in person in a couple of months if everything goes well. David, any last parting words?
Well, no, thank you. Just stay safe out there, and hopefully we'll see you online in a month or so if you want to apply. And then hopefully we'll see you in person in May. So thank you for attending.
Yeah, thank you guys. And I'll give a round of applause, a virtual round of applause to our whole panel today. Thank you guys, and stay safe.
Stay safe.